Hey guys, welcome to the Titanium Vault. I'm your host, RJ Bates III, and today's episode is about how I get contracts signed live while I'm on the phone with sellers. This has been personally requested by many of you, the subscribers to this YouTube channel. You guys have reached out to me, both in my DMs and just commenting on some of the lives that I've had saying, hey, can you break down exactly how you're able to write the contract, get it sent off, and get it signed so quickly and efficiently? I never understood that that was a need by you guys. So I appreciate you guys reaching out and asking how I'm able to do that so I can showcase this for you. And if you guys have any other specific requests for future videos, feel free to reach out to me either through Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, or just in the comments of other videos. I love the suggestions, and I'll try to get to them as quickly as I possibly can. So without further ado, let's just dive into it. I'm actually going to share my screen here, and you see this is exactly my setup right here. So I'll have on one of my monitors, I have this setup. I have my email inbox. I've got a blank fill in the blank contract, and then I've got DocuSign ready to go. So this is what one of my monitors looks like when I'm talking live to sellers. And so when I'm on the phone with a seller and we've come to terms and we've come to an agreement that they're ready to sign a contract, I have this already pulled up, and all I have to do is fill in a certain amount of fill in the blank. So their name. So for this one, I'm just going to put John Doe. You see, I already have today's date. I already have us filled in as the buyer. We then would put in the subject property address. Okay. The legal description, I'm going to take that either from batch leads or prop stream and just copy and paste, which I already have those pulled up because I'm using those to pull comps. We're then going to put in the purchase price, the acceptance date. I'm going to give them a couple of days probably. So for example, on this one, I would just put 2 days from now. The closing date, we're probably going to put a month out. I would verify that that doesn't fall on a weekend. Title company, more often than not, I'm going to know which title company this is. We use a lot of Fidelity National Title. And then I'm going to put in the governing state. And that's all I have to fill in for our contract right here. So again, just to recap, what I had to fill in was their name, the subject property address. I copy and paste the legal description from either batch leads or prop stream, which I'm using to pull comps on the property live while I'm talking to the seller. The agreed purchase price. I give them a couple of days to accept the contract, but I'm going to press that they sign the contract while we're live on the phone. The closing date of 30 days out, just verifying that it doesn't fall on a weekend. The title company, and then the governing state. I would then rename the document, the subject property address, because this is going to automatically save inside of our Google Drive. I'm then going to download a PDF version of the contract, which will pop up right here. I've got my DocuSign up. I drag and drop. I then put my own self in to sign. I would then add the seller. This whole time, there might be a little bit of awkward silence, and that's okay. Just explain to them what you're doing. I'm then going to drop an initial down for me and an initial down for them. I want to make sure that we're verifying that they've read each one of the pages. I'm going to put a signature down for me, the date down for me, and a text box for our phone number. And then repeat the exact same process for the seller. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to delete that .pdf. So it says, please DocuSign their address. And then I'm going to send. I'm going to go ahead and sign the contract right then. Once you finish, you then verify. Documents couldn't be delivered because of the email we put in, johndoe@gmail.com. This is why it's important to have your email up to verify that you don't receive this automatic email from DocuSign. We see that I received it. It will also immediately show you an email once they've viewed the contract. So you can tell the seller, all right, Mr. John, I just emailed you over the contract. Can you please verify that you've received it? Yes, I have. I'm looking at it right now. You should be able to then look in your email box, see an email. John Doe just viewed the contract for 123 Main Street. And then at that point in time, you say, feel free to read through the contract and let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you still have your copy of the contract up. So if they do have any specific questions or edits that need to be made. Now, I will say 99% of the time, you do not want to make any edits to your contract. You want to keep it just the way that you've written it. And the reasons why is because you should have standards for the reasons why your contract's written the way that it is. You're not going to buy a house or sell a house to a major corporation like an Open Door or an Offer Pad and ask them to change their contract. We should have the exact same standards within our companies that we don't edit and change our contracts. That's how we purchase properties. So that is how I am able to send contracts out as quickly as I do when I'm live on the phone with sellers. All of the information should be provided to you. You may have to ask the seller for their email address, but once you've come to terms, that should be pretty easy to gather that information from them. And it's important. That's a moment of truth that when you've come to terms with a seller and you've come to an agreement and it's time to send out the contract, you really want to stay on the phone with them to verify that they're going to sign the contract. You don't want to lose control of the sale at that moment and let them go verify it. You've probably seen during the Closers Olympics, the contract that I got on that day, the seller wanted to speak to her husband about the agreement. And I just asked her, can you go ask your husband to come read the contract? And she did, and she signed the contract. It's just very important to kind of instill your will on this is the moment right now. I'm offering to purchase your property. This is the contract. It's very simple. It was only 2 pages long, maybe 2.5, depending on some of the little edits that we make as far as the dates and things like that. But more often than not, it's about 2 pages long. And it's very easy to read. It's very cut and dry, and it should be easy to get signed. So hopefully this answers any of y'all's questions that y'all had about how do I get contracts signed as quickly as I do. And if you have questions about this contract, we're going to make a special link for you guys where you can download a version of this contract where you can also have an easy fill-in-the-blank contract that you can get signed just as quickly as we do during our lives. All right, guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to our channel. We'll see you next time. Thank you.